Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do our first feeding of our bin 2. Now remember, this is the one that last time we harvested and restarted. There was a little bit of food in there that I put in at the end from that was left over, but other than that, it's all going to be fresh. So this would be, it's 14 days since we started it. This would be if you got worms at home like that were new and you started a new bin, this would be exactly the same process. So I'm giving them some time to get acclimated back to the bin because of the changes that have happened. And now we're going to open it up. We're going to see how it looks as far as moisture. We're going to feed it probably on one side. And we are also going to make sure that the worms look healthy. So before we go to the bin though, I do want to remind everyone, please, if you can, hit that subscribe button down below and that bell to remind you when I post a new video, and also give it a thumbs up. And now let's go and take a look at the bin. All right, as you can see here, this is bin 2. Our start date was 7/10. This is today's date, 7/24. So it has been 14 days since we first started this bin. And we harvested everything on that day, and then we put the new worms in. So let's open it up and take a look. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the lid. There's some leftover stuff from last time. Little bit of moisture maybe in the center, but other than that, pretty dry. Maybe a little bit of moisture over here. So it's pretty dry in here. Put that off to the side. And now let's take a look. Now in the center we had some of our food. Let me put on my glove here. As you can see, there are some leftover pieces in here. So this is actually like a piece of wax from the watermelon. Another piece of wax. These do break down, I think, after a while. Some worms over here in the center. Got a little bit of a banana peel or something left. A little bit over here as well of something. So little pieces, bits and pieces here. A little bit of an avocado shell. Got some worms crawling on the sides here. I don't know if you can see the ones down here. Any right there. These look like younger worms. They don't look quite as big as some of the adult worms would be. So let's just take a look here in the center section where we had all the food. So I'm already seeing a good portion of worms here. These are my red wigglers. So as you can see here, nice and healthy, moving around. I'm still finding little bits. This is actually a piece of a plastic bag that's compostable. I'll just leave that in there for now. I've been trying to slowly take it out, but it has been breaking down. I don't know if this wax is going to break down or not. This was actually on the watermelon. Normally these break down a little bit faster than this, but it doesn't seem to be. So this is kind of strange for me. Normally these things do break down, but I don't know. So we'll see. We'll leave it in there. We'll just kind of let it go. But overall, there's some worms in here. They look good. So there's another one right here. So I'm going to zoom in, get real close here so you can see what they look like for these red wigglers that I've got. Let's just dig down in here a little bit. So then we're hitting the paper at the bottom here. And it's pretty dry. So it's kind of dry in here. It's not enough moisture, so we're going to have to add some moisture. I've got worms digging on the side over here that I can see too. Let's just kind of dig over here a little bit. Some worms, so they're all kind of all through here, all through the bin. Lots of paper down on the bottom. They're not really in that area quite as much. It's a little bit too dry probably for them. So what we want to do though is we really want to feed these worms. So I don't think I'm going to feed them in the center like I did last time. I think I'm going to come to one of the sides. And I think we're going to start over here on this side since there's more cardboard. So we're going to dig up this side, kind of like this, dig down to the paper. And there are worms over here, but just not many. So I'm going to try to get all these worms out of the way because I'm going to put some food in here and it's going to be frozen to start. So I want to give them some space. So there we go. We've got this nice side kind of open. Just trying to get some worms out of here. There are actually some worms on the paper over here. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to take off my glove here. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this side just so it's a little bit more moist than the other side. So I've already got my spray bottle ready. I'm just going to spray this down just a little bit. Just a little bit. We don't need a whole lot, but just a little bit to get it moist. I am going to add in a little bit more paper and cardboard mixture here, just a little bit more, not a whole lot. And now we're going to add some food. So with this, I'm going to put my glove back on here, and I have some banana peels that are ready to go. These are frozen, by the way. So as usual, I have my frozen food. I freeze everything before I put it in my worm bins because that should kill any insects that are on there or eggs. So there we go. I had a couple banana peels in there. I do have a little bit extra food in here. Give me a second here. I'm just going to grab some asparagus here. These are the ends of the asparagus. I'm not going to put in any avocado shells at this point. I do have some available, but I'm going to wait on those. So here's some more asparagus. All right, and I think that's good for now. That's quite a bit of food. Actually, maybe one more banana peel. We'll put one more banana peel on top. So there we go. That's a nice section of food here. This is not ground up. I do recommend you typically grind up your food, especially if you're trying to go through a lot in a small system, but it's not ground up for this one. So now I'm going to put some more. Actually, before we put on paper, I'm going to add one more thing to this. And now for this, I'm going to add my crushed eggshell that I have here and crushed crab shell. This is a mixture of both of them. But before I open this up, I need to put on a mask. You should always wear a mask when using these products, because when they're ground up like this, they can get into your lungs and they can really, really irritate your lungs and actually cause a lot of issues. So you want to make sure you wear a mask. I'm putting mine on right now, and then I'm going to be a little bit muffled. All right, so I'm putting my mask on, and once I get it on here, I know you can't see, but I do have a mask on. That's why I sound muffled. And I'm yelling a lot louder. Oh, by the way, here, look, here's a cocoon. Hold on, let me show this real quick. I see a couple of cocoons in here. I wasn't expecting to see any this quickly. So right here, there is a cocoon. You can see that. So they're already starting, and it looks like, no, there's not another one. I thought there might have been another one, but nope. So there's one cocoon that we saw too, which is good. That means that they're already starting to reproduce in here. But right now we're going to add in some of our crushed eggshell. I'm not seeing any issues with fruit flies or anything like that. So here's this crushed eggshell in here. I'm just going to spread a little bit of it on over here. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to leave my mask on here. So sorry that I'm muffled, but I'm going to add a little bit of paper on top. And then I'm going to wet this down a little bit. And the water is going to help hold down the paper and also that eggshell. Once you get it kind of wet, it kind of stays where it is. So it's going to get this a little bit wet, not too wet. So there we go. There's more moisture there now. Now comes the last part of this process. We need to bury this. So, and this should be able to last for probably 2 weeks. There's not too many worms in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of take the other side. We're just going to roll this on up over top. Just like that. So we have a mound on this side, and this side is a little bit depressed. But what should happen is these worms are going to go attack that food on that side. We'll just put that right there. That's a good marker, I guess. But they're going to start attacking this side. They're going to attack this food. And then the next time we come in, probably in a week or two, we'll check and see how it's doing. And from there, we'll continue to add food and continue to move forward. So let me put on the lid here. As you can tell, I didn't add too much water, but added a little bit. The fruit matter we added. And just so you guys can see, I'm always going to have this the same way. It's on this side with the label is where we did the feeding. And hopefully in 2 weeks, we'll see a little bit more moisture in here. Hold on, I'm going to take off my mask here. It should be gone, all the cloud of dust. But hopefully we'll be able to see that they have eaten through most of this food in 2 weeks, or between a week and 2 weeks, and then we'll be able to move to this side or to the center. We can kind of slowly migrate them through this bin. So that's our first update of this bin and feeding, and this is 7/24. So we'll come back again. Now, please remember, as I asked at the beginning, if you could please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out and lets me know that this is the type of content that you like. So thank you for watching.